Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Rich for WELSHYTECH, and today we are looking at the coolermaster MasterLiquid Core NEX Digital 360. Should you buy it? Well, let's find out, shall we? Okay, so what you're actually going to see here is what comes inside the box. Now, of course, it comes with all the mounting brackets you need. Comes with AMD as well as Intel. It does come with thermal paste. Obviously, it does have pre-applied thermal paste, which is fantastic. Now, this is a quite a interesting design. It does have a dual chamber pump. It is patented, of course, from them. Improved quality. Obviously, the actual, experience of it is quite easy to install. Now the socket support is like LJ 1851, 1700 all the way down to 1150, and then it's AM4 and AM5. Now as for the actual pump, it is 3200 RPM. The fans, they between 650 and 1750 RPM, and they do have a CFM rating of 71.9 with a fan air pressure at 1.86 millimeter H2O. Now when it comes to the actual display, the screen itself, well, it is a LED digital display. It does have a 50.1 by 54.4 millimeters, that is 2.1 inches. It does have a 120 CD, which is the panel luminance, and obviously it's a 5 volt. Now if you guys want to hear the actual noise of the actual fans, well, this is where it's going to pop up on the video. Yeah, so as you can probably hear, they aren't the loudest fans ever. They are actually not too bad at 100%. I would suggest maybe the 70% would probably be the best for like thermals as well as acoustics. So whether you guys agree or not, that's really going to be up to you. Now for the software, it's rather straightforward. The software is quite basic actually, because this isn't a traditional display. It's a LED display, so it doesn't actually have any like GIFs or GIF support. It's primarily for information. It just does CPU, GPU, or you can do fan speed, pump speed, and so forth. You can control all that through the software. Rather basic. I do like the information as well. It does give you like a hardware info style of stuff. It does give you a lot of information that way. And obviously, because this is a coolermaster product, if you do have a coolermaster product that has a actual LED or an actual display, an actual panel display, then of course this software will run that easily, no problems. Okay, so when it comes to the actual test system, is my AM5 platform. It's a Ryzen 9 7900. It does have a X870A Wi-Fi motherboard from Sapphire. It does have 32 gigs of DDR5 from Apacer. It does have a Gen 5 2TB NVMe from Kingston, and then a 2TB from Samsung, an RX 7800 XT. It has a 1200 watt platinum NMAX power supply, and it is housed in the BeQuad Shadowbase 800 FX. Now, when it comes to the actual testing, I've done the same amount of tests I always do: Cinebench, Blender Pavilion, Blender Classroom, and 3D Mark CPU test, and I've also done 50, 100%. Now, for the 50%, the Cinebench R23, the idles were 30 with a max of 85. The Blender Pavilion was an idle at 30 with a max of 82. Blender Classroom idle 30 with a max of 82, and 3D Mark CPU test, the idles were 30 with a max of 76. The CPU power draw was high at 166 watts with a low at 161. The CPU clocks were high at 5.4 and low at 5 gigahertz. So for 100%, now the idles were 33 Celsius with a max of 82. The Blender Pavilion was an idle at 33 with a max of 77, and the Blender Classroom's an idle at 33 with a max of 76, and 3D Mark Speed Test, the idles were 33 with a max of 74. The power draw was actually slightly higher at 172 watts with a low slightly higher at 166. Clocks were also high at 5.4 gigahertz, and the lows at 5.1 gigahertz. You are gaining something there. So what I'm going to show over here is how this actually performs against I've done. Someone in the comments asked me if I could include like other AIOs. Well, any AIO that I've tested, I will put into the graph. It might be quite a few, but I will make sure to put a lot of different AIOs so you guys can get a rough idea of perhaps which one is the best. Now, this is going to be more down to the thermal performance, not so much the actual aesthetics or the overall actual experience of it installing or anything. So bear that in mind, but this is where the graphs are going to show. Okay, so first of all, we'll start off with the mounting brackets like this. As you can see, it's got CPU on them. Now you want to place them down facing this direction, sure. Then you do get these 4 screws. This is to mount them down to the back plate for AM5. So what I'm going to do is screw them down, and then we'll move on to the next process. Okay, so with that done now you've got to put thermal paste in. As this comes with pre-applied thermal paste, let's just put some thermal paste on. Now, what I want you to do is grab the actual cooler itself. Now, you want to place it down, just like this. Squeeze, push down a little, just so it sits. Then, you do get these with tension nuts here. Place one side first. And then what you do, and you repeat the process, just put them in by hand first of all, and then screw them down, don't over tighten. Just like this, do a crisscross pattern, and go all the way until it fully bottoms out. Do not over tighten, you will damage the threads on this particular mount. And then we'll move on to the cables. Okay, so you can actually see by here, this is the CPU header, that is the pump header. Now, the one that's attached to the pump, which will be this one by here, what I want to do is put that into the pump header, onto the pump slot, like that, just like that, and then take the one that's attached to the fans and put that on the CPU, just like that. Now, as for RGB, the header for ARGB is this one. It's a 3-pin, it's 5V. Now, the pump header does have a single ARGB header or cable here, and then the fans have a daisy chainable one, which comes with a little cap that pulls off, see? So, what I want you to do is daisy chain both of these, okay, route them around the cable, back of the case, and then connect it to this, just like that. Now, as you can see here, these two by here are USB 2 headers, and this is the USB 2 cable you need for the screen. All I want you to do is take one of these, place it down, and plug it in just like that. And as for the installation, that's pretty much it. Okay, so first of all, I'll give you my overall impressions. Now, I like the actual cooler itself. I like the the display. I like the RGB that illuminates around the block housing. I think that looks really nice. The fans, the RGB, are very nice as well. Now, the radiator is standard radiator. There's no like embossed coolermaster or anything, so it's a basic radiator. The mounting is quite cool as well. It's really easy and very straightforward. The actual base plate is humongous. The amount of cables, I'd say I'm not the biggest fan of, because it's quite a pain in the, it's a bit of a pain to actually cable manage. But other than that, I mean, it performs well. It looks fantastic when it's just lit up because of the RGB around the pump, the actual housing. But here, the overall fans and stuff, the fans are a little bit loud, but that's fine. It's not really so much of a problem, I wouldn't say. The price on this is around £89, which is in that range of actually, more mid-range, I'd say, than high end, but I think it's okay for £89. Whether you agree with me or not, that's really going to be up to you guys. I like the AIO. I think it looks really, really nice as well. That little display does look rather striking, especially when it's all lit up with the RGB. Yeah, the software is not the overall best, but it's very straightforward. And of course, they do have other AIOs out there, ones with screens and so forth. That software is going to be backwards compatible, thankfully. So that's quite good. I do like that. Other than that, really, I think it's not a bad AIO. If you want to buy one, I'll leave a link down below. If you don't, then that's up to you completely. Big thank you to coolermaster. I am hoping to get that V8 CPU cooler from them. I have already asked, and that is something I want to get in. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead of you. This is Rich for WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.